Welcome to this year's State of the Schools address. What a crazy year it's been. In a typical year, we'd be inviting you into our auditorium to hear the successes of the school year, to present you with a financial update, and set the direction for a new school year. But since we're not able to gather in those kinds of numbers this year, we thought we'd be best to tell our story through the eyes of some of our students. But before we hear from our students, I'd like to tell you about something the pandemic has not impacted, and that's the district's unwavering commitment to fulfill the promises made of the 2018 school levy. I'm happy to announce that by the end of this summer, all of our projects will be completed. All projects came in under budget and on time. So let's start by taking a look at what your tax dollars bought you.
In 2018, we asked our community to vote yes on a combined bond and permanent improvement levy that would directly benefit the children of Whitehall City Schools. We would create the ability to meet the technological needs of a growing student population, replace antiquated systems and improve security at K North and the Walter Arms Learning Center, At Rosemore, we were able to construct a new 29,000 square foot mixed-use wing housing project labs, maker spaces, and a blend of special and regular education classrooms. This new section of Rosemore Middle School was started in February of 2020 and finished in March 2021. Students will begin to use the facility at the beginning of the new school year in August of 2021. Yearling U is a new makerspace at Whitehall-Yearling High School. It is located in the back half of the building where the old band and choir rooms were previously. This new facility is for students who want to pursue a meaningful career in information technology. Yearling U is an innovative space with state-of-the-art technology to ensure that we can prepare our students for the most competitive and lucrative jobs in the nation. The improvements to the interscholastic facilities at Whitehall-Yearling High School were something that was desperately needed. It had been more than 30 years since the district had asked for a tax increase to address our aging athletic facilities. Athletics and performing arts are such an integral part of the education process as they are essentially an extension of the classroom. Through our levy campaign, we were able to install a new synthetic turf field on our football field, build a new field house next to the stadium for all of our outdoor fall and spring sports, replace lights and renovate bathrooms at the stadium, replace the tennis courts, and even install a new state-of-the-art lighting system in our auditorium. Now that we've given you a glimpse into what we were able to accomplish with our school facilities during the COVID-19 pandemic, we'd like to show you the perspective from a couple of our seniors at Whitehall-Yearling High School. Here, we're speaking with Cece Batiste and Haley Franklin and getting their thoughts as they look back on a truly unique senior year. They share with us some of the hardships they experienced, as well as some of the unexpected discoveries that were a product of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I feel like I got closer to some teachers because I feel like sometimes in a normal year everything's just so crazy and everyone's constantly going. But with the pandemic, it's like everyone has something to relate to. So it's like there's something that everyone can talk about like all the time. And like the one teacher specifically like is the choir director. And I feel like especially that sucked because we haven't even had like a choir concert yet. But I think, though, with him in general, I've had a lot more conversations with him, and we've talked about a lot more things this year than we have in years prior because everything's just kind of slowed down. And I think he's kind of helped me a lot with, again, what I want to do after high school because we've been able to have conversations. And, yeah, I just think slowing down and being able to connect more with teachers has been good.
In high school, it's not like how you see in movies. Nobody's really, like, cliquey. But in a sense, we kind of are. You know, people stay with their own people. But once the pandemic happened, that all just just broke down. When we came back, we started on ground zero, basically, where everybody's kind of like coming together. And because of that, and because we all experienced the same thing, we got to experience the same thing. We got to relate to each other on a deeper level. I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, you know, if you can get through this, then you can get through anything. But I think another thing that was eye-opening for me is, again, kind of what I had said about when you're in high school, you're kind of defined by what you do in high school. And I feel like when I didn't have anything to do, I felt like lost in a way, because I feel like I only could see myself, you know, as a marching band person, show choir person, whatever. And I think it's taught me that in life, in general, you can't try to put yourself in a box, because the box isn't always going to be there, like no matter what. Like you have to know yourself for yourself and not by what the things you, well, not by the things you do. And you just have to like love yourself for who you are, not what you do, basically.
This year was wild, but I had a really good year. And I had a really good just Whitehall career, just overall.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think as much as this year was crazy, I think being in Whitehall made it a lot better because the teachers care, and like they care like a lot. Like there's some really, really good teachers, and then the administration, there's some really good people in administration who care a lot. And I definitely don't think I would have been as good as in a good spot as I am now if I didn't go to Whitehall, because it is a small school, and I feel like it was easier for everyone to be there for each other. I feel like other students who went to a bigger school where there's so many other students and so many other factors, it would have been harder to feel better, because it would have been harder to get that, you know, information like through like Google Meets. Like I've seen some meets where there was like 30 kids on it, and you know, for me it wasn't ever like that. So you could like ask the teacher for help and it wasn't like a weird thing. And just even all back in school, like, there's a lot more people, but there's still like, it's not overwhelming. And I think in general, I just think the teachers are always really supportive, and I think they care a lot, and you could tell that they care, and I think we're really lucky to have them. And I think I'm very lucky to have gone to Whitehall. As much as everything that's like happened, I think it's a really good school, and I like that they're constantly trying to move forward and improve everything. And I never felt like we're taking a step back. It feels like we're always moving forward, and I think that's really good. Yeah.
I remember just having like one of the most just worst weeks ever, and then I went to class, and like after, he was like, hey, can you like stay over for a bit? And then we talked, and it was a nice bonding thing. Like it's not just that one teacher too. I've had many teachers they just show that they care about you mentally and emotionally, and I feel like you just can't get that anywhere else.
And I think that's a good thing that Whitehall does, is they don't let students think that they are not needed or that they're not important. Like I feel like every student in some way or another, at some point, a teacher makes them feel like important. I think that goes a long way. I think that's helped me a lot, just developmentally wise, like always feeling like needed and just feeling better.
And heard too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant. Even just like social issues too, like obviously to African American females, it's kind of been a little difficult. And even if it's just like a hey, you know, this is kind of bumming me out, you know, obviously my background, and they listen too, no matter what their background is or their gender or sexuality. You just feel just open here, very, very heard.
Well, that concludes our presentation. But before we close out, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you to the staff, our students, and our parents for the cooperation and patience through this most unusual school year. This is a year that presented lots of challenges for us. A year where living rooms, dining rooms, kitchens served as classrooms for the year. For many of you, the kitchen table became the student's classroom desk, or a sofa replaced the classroom chair. So it has been an unusual year, and I know that you're worried about learning loss. I am too. But I'll make you this promise. Our talented staff will work extremely hard to identify those learning gaps and come up with strategies to fill those. In fact, they've already begun that work. Our vision hasn't changed. We're committed to inspiring and guiding every student to dream, grow, and succeed. So I want you to enjoy your summer, relax, take care of yourself, and practice the mitigation strategies that have gotten us this far. And if you haven't taken the vaccine, please talk to your doctor to see if that makes sense for you. Because it's the mitigation strategies and the vaccinations that are going to get us back to a normal school year in the fall. I'm confident that school's going to look normal in the fall. So until that time, please take care and let's go do great things together.